live stream, our regularly scheduled live stream on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific time. We are live on Rumble and on YouTube. Just want to make sure that we are in fact live. So just verifying it here. Yep, we're good. So I don't see anybody yet on, at least no comments yet on Rumble. And welcome, my friends. And tonight's topic is going to be about certificates, specifically about Microsoft certificates. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting topic. So I'm making these series of videos on web encryption, and I just released a video from yesterday. And the next one is also going to be about web encryption. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus just on a subtopic here that I didn't really focus on. And that's the Microsoft specific root certificates that you will find, as I described in the video, but you'll find it in more places than you actually realize. So before I get into that, I just want to remind you that in 2024, I'm going to change the live stream format. I'm not sure I will continue doing live streaming here on YouTube. Live stream will continue undisrupted on Rumble, and then it will be hopefully also on locals, robbraxman.locals.com. So if you're not on the locals platform, I recommend that you sign up to robbraxman.locals.com so you don't miss out, because in 2024, I'm not going to do this formats, especially. I don't know if I'm going to transfer like a portion of it, like the first 30 minutes on YouTube or not. I haven't decided that. But so far, I realized that it doesn't really benefit me on YouTube. So if there's no benefit, there's kind of no point to doing it. It's very beneficial for me on Rumble, and of course the supporters on locals. So please speak straight into the mic. The sound is somewhat distorted. No, then that means I'm too close. Then your advice is wrong here. Okay, so I'm too close to the mic. So creating more distance here to the mic. Okay. What did you say? You will lose many people if you lose YouTube. No, nobody's watching on YouTube. What are you talking about? I wouldn't leave YouTube live streams if the live streams are of any benefit, but on YouTube, my live streams result in losing subscribers. Every time I lose subscribers on YouTube. So no, I'm not. It's of no specific benefit on YouTube itself. So anyway, so that's the plan in 2024. Specifically, how I'm going to do that, it's not yet entirely clear. So, but locals needs 2FA. Fake it, or be on Rumble. Rumble will be fine. I will continue to broadcast on Rumble. Rumble is very receptive to live streams, so it works very well over there. But the main videos, the short videos, do extremely well on YouTube. So YouTube is the place for the short videos for sure. Rumble actually isn't a good place for the short videos. So it's a little different for every platform. So anyway, we got to go with what works here. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's all. That's all I'm saying here. Anyway, the topic today is about the Microsoft root certificate, and this is very disturbing if you actually understand what this means. If you go to Windows and you go to Control Panel on Windows and you type certificates in the search bar in there, it will actually display the certificates that are currently on Windows. And it will show the root certificate. If you go into the root certificate section, it will actually show you the root certificates. And the disturbing aspect of that is that the root certificates include Microsoft. So root certificates have it's very distracting, Cosmic Rose. I know what your concern is on that. Rumble's free. You don't have to do anything on Rumble. I understand the complications of locals, but we can discuss that another time here. It's really very distracting for me to even look at the comments right now. So anyway, the problem with the root certificate issue is that any entity that inserts a root certificate into your computer basically can create a certificate for any company. So a Microsoft certificate as a root in your system means they can actually create a root certificate for Braxme, well, they can't make one. They can make one for google.com, but they wouldn't be able to do it on Chrome. But they can do it on Firefox, on Edge. They could do that. They could do a certificate for just about any, Facebook. They could do a certificate for any company. And when you create a certificate, a fake certificate on the platform, the end result is that somebody can actually put a man in the middle. Somebody can spy on it. This is a very, very, very dangerous thing. It's a very, very dangerous thing to do. So it's very iffy to me to have a Microsoft root certificate when Microsoft isn't actually a certificate authority. There is actually no reason that Microsoft would be providing root certificates. Website certificates. That's not what they do. Now, let me just explain this because this may not be clear. The actual explanation to why some of the Microsoft certificates are there is supposedly for something called app signing. So if an app is put into the Microsoft Store, or even the genuine apps from Microsoft will check the public key of the app and then check it against the recorded authority, and then see if the authority is valid, and then they can say if the app itself is the original app signature for that app or not. That's called app signing. And supposedly then that prevents somebody from inserting a bad app in Windows. Okay, got that. That's not a bad purpose. That is not a bad purpose. I can accept that for cybersecurity reasons. That's actually not bad. But the main issue here is this. The Microsoft certificate as one of the certificates as placed in Windows is supposed to be for app signing, but there is no restriction for somebody using a Microsoft certificate to not be for app signing. It can be used for any website. Now, here's the thing that you may not realize. This is something you may not know. When you are the root certificate, you can actually assign somebody else to be an intermediate certificate authority. So let's say Microsoft as root says, okay, we're going to make a new authority and we're going to call it, XYZ, XYC certificate authority. Well, you're not going to know who XYZ certificate authority is per se. It's not easy to look at because it will be part of what is called a hierarchy. It's actually a chain. So the top level would be Microsoft, and then whatever next the intermediate authority is. So this entity that can issue certificate itself as certified by the Microsoft root certificate, Microsoft does not have to reveal their private key. All they do is say, we approve of XYZ certificate authority, and certificate authority XYZ suddenly has all this power. they can then generate root certificates all day. So, for example, they can say, okay, you three-letter agency, we're going to give you an intermediate certificate authority uh, in the certificate authority chain. And Microsoft isn't actually a valid root authority. They're not actually, some of the requirements of a root authority is they have to be audited. They have to put in a lot of money to have security, physical security, bonded. There's a lot of stuff that comes with being a root authority, which Microsoft did not do. They didn't do that. So they're actually faking themselves because they have power. They have power because they wrote the operating system. They can do anything they want. And they decided they're going to put Microsoft as a root authority, and they have the power then to grant intermediate CA authority to any entity, including government. Now, I haven't discussed this in any video. This is kind of a new concept here. So you can actually go to a website and it will say, oh, this certificate is provided by letsx.com, letsxyz.com. So instead of saying let's encrypt, it's let's xyz, something similar. And you would never know, or maybe it's let's encrypted.com. They can use that as the name of the entity, and we would never know unless your eyes are really sharp, and you can see some of the stuff that they can do. And so they can say, okay, so you're going to a website, let's say facebook.com, and it says there the certificate is guaranteed by the certificate authority, let's xyz, and you say, oh, okay, I don't know who that is, so must be okay. Must be okay. So the question that Mr. US Patriot 01 is asking, and which is explained by all this, is if you have a private key to any website, if it's a fake certificate, then you can hand the private key to anyone. If you have the private key to any website, including a machine, you can spy on any traffic intended for that domain. You can fake anything, meaning you can spy on any website. This is in fact already proven to be so easy to do. Everyone in cybersecurity knows how to do this. And for a non-cybersecurity person to do this, it's easy. You load a vast antivirus, and then you will see that the antivirus puts a root certificate in, and it can read everything that's supposed to be HTTPS with encryption. They can read everything. Okay, I'm going to scare you a little bit here because it goes worse than this. Okay, the second justification for Microsoft to be putting root certificate in fact, they have several root certificates. Some of this is actually intended for Microsoft Azure. So if you have a server in the cloud and your server is in the Azure platform, Microsoft Azure is like their own version of Amazon AWS. So they're like a Microsoft version of Linode, Akamai Linode. It's called Azure. If you have a server on Azure, then you can pretty much guarantee that any Windows computer that you need to access bidirectionally will be guaranteed to work with a certificate issued by Microsoft, even though Microsoft isn't a certificate authority. And that's because they can guarantee that any computer running Windows always has a Windows root certificate, and therefore any certificate granted by Microsoft can in fact do this. So if the government said, and by the way, the government has servers in Microsoft Azure. In fact, they have a government division. Azure is a government division. And so a government division of Azure could then spy on every Microsoft computer in the fucking world, because they can put a website there, and they can track all the traffic externally. They can watch what goes on in Microsoft Azure. They can watch any Windows computer. This is the mass surveillance aspect of this. Now, it's even worse, folks. It's even worse. Let me explain to you why it's worse. It's worse because Linux. Now, who would have thought this? Linux has Microsoft root certificates. Did you know that? Oh, if you're searching for the Microsoft root certificates on Linux, it's in the directory etc slash cert. No, it's SSL. etc slash SSL. So if you go to Linux and go to etc.ssl and then you go to the search folder, you'll find all the root certificates in there. And Microsoft is on there. Microsoft is on there. Now, exactly. Great Goal is asking, Linsco Piring is asking, yeah, why would there be Microsoft certificates in there? Well, their excuse could be, hey, these computers may be running in a Microsoft Azure environment, and they need access to certain certificates in order to work. And in case you did not know, folks, I'm going to remind you of this. Microsoft is part of the Linux Foundation. You think Microsoft's just going to sit in the background just because it's Linux? No. Linux is a big part of the Linux Foundation. In fact, they donate a lot of money to it. So they have control. They have control because they donate a lot of money. What do you mean sound is gone? Sound is not gone. The sound is not gone on my end here. So, my goodness, this really is very, very troubling. Now, I looked at a Mac. Now, the Mac I have is pretty old. I have an older MacBook Pro, and it did not have anything but Apple root certificates in there. So it's not on Apple. You may have to install some Microsoft app before they start inserting a root certificate in there, but it's not on Apple. But what this means, just to really explain the effects of this, is that somebody at Microsoft could, in fact, create an entity that can listen into all the traffic from any Microsoft OS computer or Linux. Well, that's about, isn't that 90% of all computers? 95% of all computers? What is the market share of a Mac? It's not that big. So yeah, 90% of all computers that can be spied on. And then if an entity wants to do spying on Apple, they can go to Apple and get an Apple intermediate certificate, CA certificate, because Apple can do the same thing that Microsoft does. So Apple also has the Apple root certificate on a Mac. It has an Apple root certificate on there. So they could do the exact same thing. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Apple, Microsoft, Google, all of them are government contractors. And given the right amount of money, of course, same with Amazon. Given the right amount of money, of course, they do support the government. If the government says we want to do something, and they all have proven to be participants in PRISM and all the various programs that Snowden revealed. Apple, Microsoft, Google, all of them were players in that, plus all the carriers. They were all willingly giving our data to these companies, and now we have actually a mechanism here for them to directly do mass surveillance. This is not really so much of a threat from hackers. I just want to emphasize that what this really applies to. This is more of a threat to it's a mass surveillance threat, because typically the threat here will be from some government. So this means that a government that's cozy with Apple, Google, Microsoft could get, some intermediate certificate right. And so I actually was wrong in stating in my video that the certificate would show up as Microsoft, Apple, or Google, but no, it doesn't have to be, because that they could have an intermediate certificate, and unless you check specifically what the certificate looks like, that is guaranteed by the root level certificate, which would show on there. But if you didn't know that, you're not going to look at it, and you're not going to know the chain. So it's important to look at the certificate and look at the chain. So if there's I'll give you an example. If you look at let's look at the certificate for Brax.me. I don't have a method here set up to put a browser on here to show you this, but I showed it in my last video. If you go into Brax.me, my own site, and it's a Let's Encrypt certificate, and you look at the Let's Encrypt certificate, the certificate authority for Brax.me is Let's Encrypt. But Let's Encrypt is a intermediate CA. The actual root certificate holder is actually X3. So you can actually see X3 on there. So we'll show X3, then Let's Encrypt, and then the website, Brax.me. So when that happens, and you can see the connection here. If I ever see a root of any website of some unknown intermediary, and I'll find a Microsoft, Apple, Google, or anyone else that is really not directly connected, I'm gonna just assume that there's a government interceptor machine in the middle. If you're, depending on the country, this will probably be quite common. So this is a very, very scary concept here, but that's really what happened. I showed you in the video the story about Blue Coat Systems. And by the way, Blue Coat Systems, that story used to be mentioned on Wikipedia, and now it disappeared. I don't see any reference to it anymore. It's like somebody cleaned that. Okay, it used to be on Wikipedia. It's not something. It's not a big mystery. This was a big discussion. I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years ago, when this was going on. So just to repeat the story, VeriSign was the root certificate authority. VeriSign was bought by Symantec. Symantec then bought Blue Coat Systems. Blue Coat Systems is the supplier of surveillance equipment for Saudi Arabia and whatever country in South America, I forget. Maybe even Venezuela. I can't remember now, but several of them, and then a lot of Middle Eastern countries. So what happens is the machines put in by Blue Coat Systems could spy on all internet traffic in that country, because they actually can generate any fake certificate for any domain they want, and therefore they can spy on it. And then after reading the content in plain text, so if you're going to your bank, the government can see all your bank traffic, and then it forwards it to the actual site, Google, Facebook, wherever you happen to be going, and then it's you never notice anything except that somebody in the middle actually read all the traffic. That's what Blue Coat Systems did. Now, the evil in here is that VeriSign and Blue Coat Systems were both owned by Symantec, and they did this evil thing of creating fake certificates and faking people in various places and countries into thinking that their HTTPS was safe. In fact, there was a man in the middle. So this is why this is the problem with this root certificate stuff. If you just have a root certificate that's inserted by somebody of power, and they can then distribute that to other people, then you're gonna promote mass surveillance. Now, can you modify root cert? Obviously, you can put any root certificate you want, but unless you're a distributor of this, then it doesn't. Having your own root certificate means you can only control yourself. But Microsoft controls every fucking computer. Not the Macs, but anything but a Mac, Linux and Windows. So therefore, Microsoft has an in to just about every zucking computer and every server in the world, because they all have a Microsoft zucking uh, a Microsoft um, certificate. So just understand this: if you control the root certificate, you have access to the private key. If you have access to the private key, you can decrypt any traffic of any certificate used by that root certificate. Okay, so basically, in a simple explanation, and watch the last video so you get more of this. In a simple explanation is, if you control the root certificate, you can spy on the content. The encryption doesn't matter. The encryption does not exist for you. Watch that video, Mindy, because you have to look at the certificate itself and see. So you can't tell 100%, but you can get kind of a hint. If it's in my video, I said if the certificate is not from Let's Encrypt, I'm going to have a big doubt that it's actually safe. So if it's not a Let's Encrypt certificate, I'm not gonna believe it's safe because of what they can do here. So, and what I'm talking about is both Linux and Windows, Linux and Windows. You can detect an MITM by using my app, Catch Man in the Middle, Catch MITM, which I don't believe is downloadable on newer machines, so you have to take it from apkpure.com. So you can go to apkpure.com, download Catch MITM in there, because it's not on the Google Play Store right now. I have to update it. It's not using the most current Android API, so they don't like that. So anyway, this story is much more complicated, but I just am worried specifically about the Microsoft one, because this one is an example of a certificate that's root certificate that's on every computer just about, with the exception of a Mac, but it's on all of the Microsoft Windows computers and all Linux computers. That's very, very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Solution. Now, there is some solution to this for Linux. For Linux, I would just move the certificates to another area, away from the etc SSL certs directory, and move it someplace else. Back it up somewhere. And then that should disable that certificate on Linux, and then you reboot, and that should do it. Can't imagine any evil effect. I've tried it before. There were no evil effects on Linux. On Windows, here's the effect. Depending on what you do, those Windows certificates may affect app signing. So some Microsoft apps may not run. So don't be too eager to delete everything. Just, do it a little bit at a time. And you don't really delete it. You do untrust it. There's an option to untrust any certificate. So I've untrusted a few certificates. I selected some, I put in the untrust, but this is a problem, because if you do this and you make the mistake and you don't have a backup of your registry, then you may not be able to go back and run those Microsoft programs again. Now, fortunately, Microsoft does this little procedure, which is a problem for those trying to fix certificate issues, because what happens is every time you get an update from Microsoft, I believe it's every Tuesday night, right? Every Tuesday that you get your Microsoft update, they update the zucking certificates again. So even if I removed the Microsoft certificate, if I looked at it now, it's back in there, and I didn't do anything. And that's because Microsoft auto updates the docking certificate every week. What is a Proxmox Latina? I don't know what a Proxmox is. So, okay, let me take a short break here, and then we'll continue on. Let me talk to you about my sponsor. My sponsor is Akamai Linode. They haven't changed the name officially. They're still calling themselves Linode, but you go to the website, it's called Akamai Linode. Akamai bought the original Linode. Linode is my cloud service provider. So if I need servers in the cloud, websites, Linux servers of any sort, there are many choices out there. For example, there's Amazon GoDaddy, Amazon Azure, Google, what do you call that? Google Cloud, and 10 million other ISPs. And there's so many of them, and I've actually dealt with so many of them. I can't count on my hands how many ISPs I've been to. A lot over the years, and my personal experience has been that the best experience for me, now I'm still on Linode currently, is to go with Linode. So all of my VPN services, for example, my email servers and so on, everything is running on Linode. I don't put it on Amazon anymore. I still have an Amazon account, and I still run certain things on Amazon, but because there's certain things that Linode can't provide, so I have to do both. But the bulk of my servers are in Linode, and the reason I do that is because it saves me money. They're definitely inexpensive and efficient. For example, I don't get charged extra for bandwidth. It's actually terabytes of bandwidth are included for free. So I don't have to worry about that. The stated value of the server is $5 a month, and I don't have to worry about it. It's $5 a month, which is a small server you can use. $5 a month, not bad. Now, if you go to Linode and you sign up with the code Rob Braxman, they're going to give you a $100 credit, which you can apply towards any purchase for a period of 2 months. And you can use it for cloud servers, websites. Goodness, there's so many things you can install on servers that you can put on the cloud. And, like Nextcloud, there's so many things you can do. Jitsi servers, XMPP servers. If you're running an office, you can make your own private communications, and you can do that on Linode pretty easily. And they have very good tech support. Very good tech support. I talk to them almost every day, and or me and my staff, we communicate with Linode almost every day. So yes, so consider them in your future cloud needs. Okay, now that I've at least gone through the main topic here in the first half an hour, I still don't know what proxy. What is Proxmox? Is that a device? Is that a modem? A router? What is Proxmox? That's some corporate type device. I actually am not familiar with that. So, yeah, I don't know everything. Some people say, "Oh, how come you don't know that?" I don't. I don't know everything because it's not what I do. It's a Debian distro that is a virtual environment hypervisor. Okay. Why would you need that versus Docker or any of the normal VM options that I discussed in our videos, like KVM? So Proxmox is like a KVM. Oh, okay. So it's like a Qemu or KVM or VirtualBox. Okay, same thing. Okay. Easy run VM with a web UI. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, I have a video on my video on the Linux one for virtual machine is KVM. Then I have another one on VirtualBox. So yeah, so normally I just use that KVM or VirtualBox. Proxmox is KVM. Yeah, but I use KVM natively. So okay, so Proxmox is a UI. Proxmox is a UI, a web UI for KVM. Got it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I just do it from the command line. It's not that hard. It's on my video. So and if it's hard for you, use VirtualBox. Uh, KVM is faster than VirtualBox, significantly faster. Docker is a little different methodology. It's another kind of isolation. Uh, Docker is almost an indirect kind of virtual machine because it's really just running Linux within Linux versus an actual managed machine. So I think you have kind of more control with KVM. So okay, so anyway, that's not good. We discussed that. Yeah, catch MITM can detect if you have a man in the middle. Pretty much by checking the certificate and comparing it. So if the problem is it's not foolproof because it depends on where the network is. If the MITM is you know in the route of my MITM server, then it might also get the wrong information, but it's very, very unlikely. So Catch MITM app is on apkpure.com if you want to download it. It only works on Android. On a non-Android device like a computer, it's very easy to do this. You just look at the certificate itself and see who the certificate authority is, and look at the chain, and the clue is if the root certificate authority is Microsoft and the site has nothing to do with Microsoft, I would I would really I would really be very, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. So who wrote this MITM app? I did. Of course it's safe. It's not doing anything but looking at certificates. It's actually a very, very simple app. It just looks at the signatures of certificates in two different locations and compares them, and if it finds any difference, will report it to you. Okay, so what is Kamikaze Ozzy discussing? What is that subject matter so that you can't educate me on? I unfortunately it's hard to scroll back that far. Okay, let me just address the issue that Cosmic Rose was talking about earlier in regards to my live stream on YouTube. So again, I just want to make this clear. Each platform, YouTube versus Rumble versus X versus Odysee, well, those are the four platforms I'm on. Each platform has some advantages and disadvantages. In some cases, whatever I do is neutral. It doesn't have any bad effect or good effect. In which case, there's no issue. Life can go on. What I'm trying to tell you guys, which is a global thing. It's not specific to each individual, because some of you obviously want to do everything on YouTube. The problem is, as a rule over the population of YouTube itself, live streams are hurting my numbers on YouTube. It causes YouTube to basically not serve up my main videos because people aren't responding to my videos on the live stream on YouTube. And because of the bad numbers, the algorithm just doesn't like it. And it's for one, when I put out on live stream on YouTube, I always get uh, unsubscribers, typically around 50. So every time I do a live stream, I lose 50 people. So and because of that, the algorithm doesn't actually share the videos for the live stream. So unless you're looking for it specifically, they don't even push it. So it's a very big negative on YouTube. It's not neutral, it's a negative on YouTube. So being sensitive to those people who want to watch something on YouTube alone, it's a problematic for me just because of the fact that it has a negative effect on the algorithm. And so the answer is, why am I doing that? Why am I doing the live stream or the platform or the algorithm? And it must be you guys' reaction. That's the general audience, the 423,000 of you who are subscribers get offended when I do a live stream. You actually click it off and you get upset and you unsubscribe. I mean, a lot of you do that, and certainly very few of you watch it. The numbers are very low on a typical live stream. So so because of this, then the algorithm behaves in a very negative way when I do the live stream. And it's really, really very bothersome because it affects the channel negatively. So it's an unappreciating market. So the market on YouTube doesn't appreciate the live stream. So my answer is, yeah, it's not good to do something like my standard videos are gaining subscribers constantly. It's doing very well, but the live streams are a negative. They're a drag, and the algorithm is actually using it as a way to punish me and saying, well, we're not going to share your videos because you don't get much of a response, and that's because of the live stream. They used to promote live streams separately, but they don't anymore. So that's just the response of the algorithm. It's very hard to beat the algorithm. So if the algorithm decides that you as the audience don't like me, then they stop feeding me to new users, and the channel doesn't grow. It's been like that for a long time. So the solution is to not cause any more problem, not rock the boat on YouTube. And the way to not rock the boat on YouTube is okay. Algorithm doesn't like it. If the algorithm doesn't like it, then don't do that. So it's you basically have to react and say, if somebody doesn't like it. So basically, I'm saying that in general, people on YouTube leave when they see me do a live stream, leave the as subscribers. It has a negative effect. They don't like it because maybe they think it's too long. I'm not really sure why. Some people say, well, you talk in a unorganized way because I don't have a script. It's free form. They don't like that. Okay. I can't help that. That's the format, and the format doesn't do well on YouTube. But here's a strange thing, guys. Very, very strange thing. The strange thing is that the live stream does extremely well on Rumble. So on Rumble, I have, 44,000 subscribers on Rumble, and they're almost all from the live stream. Can you imagine that? 44,000 subscribers on Rumble just from the live stream. And I don't even talk about anything political. And the reason is that Rumble promotes live streams. They actually make an extra effort to push people who do live streams. And they don't push the main videos. It's kind of neutral. So I put my main video, it's 45.9 now. Wow. So I put my regular videos on Rumble, and it doesn't get very much views, but it's not a negative. I don't lose subscribers from it, so I can keep doing it and put it on Rumble. But as far as the live streams go, there is no negative effect whatsoever. It's extremely positive because, like I said, most of those 45,000 subscribers or followers on Rumble actually came from live streams. For that reason, for that reason, it makes sense then to uh, put to continue on Rumble and not on YouTube. Now, Rumble's free. YouTube is free. I want it to be completely free all the time. Uh, but I have an alternative for those who are using, let's say, YouTube members program or Patreon. Instead of doing that, I'm recommending that you go to robbraxman.locals.com and you can do the same kind of subscription to help this channel on robbraxman.locals.com. So that's the same as um, locals and I'm sorry, the same as Patreon and YouTube members. So and if you're on Patreon and YouTube members, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you're interested in another way of doing it, robbraxman.locals.com is another way of doing it. And what's nice to me, at least, as a creator, when using locals.com is Stripe, which is their payment processor, doesn't really take that much money off the top. The YouTube takes a big chunk, I think 33%. Patreon takes a big chunk too. I think it's like plus. They say, oh, we don't take more than 15%, but in reality, it's like more like 20%. Locals doesn't take that much. I think they don't take that much. Maybe 8%. I'm not sure. It's low, very low. I get most of it. So it's really something that creators appreciate, and so Brian Lunduke asked me to start the channel. He was promoting the fact that tech channels should move to locals and do it there. So I tried it. I set up locals. I had a locals account. Locals set me up. Locals, by the way, is owned by Rumble. So I set up the locals account, and I encountered problems for many of you. Running on locals, some of you are required, or all of you are required to put in a credit card and actually give you a free coupon, so you actually won't be charged on locals. If you don't want to contribute, I still encourage you to go to locals, because I give you a coupon code, and the coupon code is called FREE. I don't know Cosmic Growth. That's the only thing they offer. It's what the platform offers, so it's not something I really have any control over. It's just that it's a place and it's there. Those who want to do it on Stripe can do it on on Patreon, can do it on Patreon. I believe Patreon takes PayPal. Yeah, I mean, use whatever is convenient to you to help the channel. I appreciate wherever you are. Now, when I'm thinking of what to do here, because some of you are already contributing on another channel, and you don't have a credit card you want to put in into locals, and I believe there's maybe a way to do that by manually adding somebody as a member. So I because Brian Lunduk did that to me. He added me manually as a member. So you sign up, and then once I see it, or somebody I assign to see it, can actually approve the person as a member without paying if they don't want to contribute. I want it to be free for those who don't want to give money. I don't want to force that. That's not my goal. But what I want to do, and this is the different thing that I'm trying to communicate here, is that on locals, I may come up with a different program where those who are on locals gets to do the Q&A, and maybe on Rumble there's no Q&A. So I want to do the Q&A in a more narrow group, and then I can be more personal, and then we can kind of like the old Periscope days where we can actually go into more detail, especially for supporters or those who can support on robrexman.locals.com. So anyway, that's uh so there is a way. I don't know I can't really, if there hundreds of you trying to have me set up a free account, uh I probably can't do it that way because I don't have the time to go do that. So maybe I can assign somebody to do it. Have you thought of having guests on a podcast? Yeah, that's possible in another format. So anyway, if you are willing to give your credit card to locals, then there's no issue. This is really just for people who have difficulty with credit cards, don't want to contribute a different way, or they can't afford to. I don't want to block anyone from doing that. If as long as you're there to support, I'm happy to provide you information and help you, but in a narrower platform that is appreciated. I don't want to do the Q&A in an area that's not appreciated. And the Q&A is not appreciated on YouTube. Yes, Cosmic Rose. So yeah, you're easy because I know who you are. So sign up on there and I'll make you a free account. So that's easy. You don't even have to use a coupon. I can make a free account. I just don't want to have 1,000 of you having me do that. It's very time consuming. But Cosmic Rose, I'm happy to do that for you. Happy to do that, and then you can be a moderator on there as well. So yeah, it's not a I was not aware of the mechanics of locals, and that's why some of you are suffering from this experience with the credit card, because I did not know that. I did not know the requirement. Because it's my own channel, I can't go subscribe with my own credit card. I have never subscribed with a credit card on local, so I actually have no experience. So you guys told me what the experience is. So the rule that they gave in there is you can use a coupon only if you have a registered credit card. Now you actually never spend anything because you can use my credit card, my coupon code called free. So while you keep using the free one, then you don't have to actually pay. But of course, I appreciate it if you pay. I see subscription, but I don't want to force it. I don't want to force a subscription. X is starting live streaming for verified creators. Yeah, I'm not going to use it though. That's X is not. I'm not doing that well on X. So I have 11,000 subscribers on X. Not really growing too fast. So it doesn't suit my format. So the X live streaming is Periscope, and I was big on Periscope, but that's a little different platform. So yeah. So I am on X. So follow me on X, Rob Brexman Tech on X. And I do post my videos there. I do not post a live stream. Okay, so hopefully that, I just want to make sure that we're clear. We're clear on the my intent for the live streaming in 2024. Linode is no longer my sponsor in 2024. My contract with Linode ends in 2023, and I'm not sure I'm interested in taking any sponsors in 2024. So, Cosmic Rose, you can call the Periscope. So, of course, Cosmic Rose, Great Gold, and all of us were all on Twitter, Periscope back in the day. So that's all where we all, many of you, that's where we all met. We were on Periscope and Twitter before it became X. Okay, so anyway, that's the plan with that. Um, so yeah, and also if we do a Q&A on a platform like with a smaller group on locals, we can be more personal. We can tell stories, and it doesn't have to be so serious all the time as I have to be here on YouTube. I recommend Linode still. Linode is Yeah, Linode is very much recommended for the long run. Whether they're my sponsor or not, I'm gonna recommend Linode. They're good. They're good. apkpure.com. Yeah. Okay, so the discount is only for 2 months. The discount, the coupon is renewable. I will renew the coupon permanently. So, so everyone's asking what this new reporting requirements are for LLCs coming in 2024, but I don't know what it is. I can't react to it. On locals, will you be able to play piano again? I suppose I could, but I don't have a setup for that anymore. So maybe I can do it, record it, because I presume locals is not going to have any copyright restrictions on music. So yeah. So yeah, I want to go back to kind of a more relaxed style on the Q&A, because this is what causes me to lose subscribers here on YouTube, because they don't like the Q&A. This is the actual evil to YouTube, the Q&A portion. It's too long, you're too disorganized, whatever. It's like, hey, this is, the idea of a live stream. It's free form. And when you actually talk to me in a live stream, uncontrolled, unscripted, unplanned, I say a lot of stuff that I would never say in an organized video. So you actually often have a different learning experience with me in a live stream. Yes, I told you, Joe Silva, go to etc/SSL/certs. You go find the cert in there, move it from that folder to someplace else, and then restart Linux, and that certificate is gone. So you can look for the Microsoft certificates that are on there. You can delete it. Rather than delete it in case there's a problem, just move it elsewhere. Create a new folder called untrusted and then move it there. Okay, so etc/SSL/certs. That's where the certs are. Go scan them, find Microsoft, make a subfolder called untrusted, move it there. You're good. Okay. So this kind of stuff that, we can have more patience in a Q&A. Thank you, fellow citizen. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Great Gold remembers the old days when I used to stream every day. Great Gold remembers that. I used to live stream every single day for years. Didn't make any money at all. This was complete sacrifice. I wasn't selling anything. There was nothing. It was completely free giving of information. So yeah. Okay, so if you do that on thank you, Californication. Joe Silva's question has been answered. Okay, so yeah, it was just it was more personal, and we can do that. I can't do locals right now. I don't have a streaming account on locals yet, because they haven't really finalized that. So so I don't know when the locals part will start, but I can start on Rumble in 2024. So I can do 100% Rumble for live streams in 2024 with Q&A, and then split the Q&A into the into the uh, local section at some point. Or maybe I do it on. Here's another way I could do it. I can do it on X and do a subscription live stream on X. Do the same thing. So yeah, so it was very interesting back in the day, Linsco Pyron, because people don't actually realize what I did live. As an example, I get attacked all the time. People attack me. Here I make videos, and people don't really know what my skill set is because I just talk. On the Periscope live streams, I get attackers all the time. They attack me. They attack me and say negative things right on the broadcast, and I'll I find out who they are and dox them the next day, and then I do a live stream showing who they are and where they live, what who their relationships are, and what the real name is, and what their job is, and who their mother is, and what school they went to, or because some of them were kids. I don't actually. If it's a kid, I don't. I don't publish the information. If it's an adult, I do. And then they're surprised by the kind of information I can come up with. And people would test me, and there will be hackers. There will be hackers that come in. Oh, I'm going to attack you, and then I attack them. And I can do a demonstration right on the spot. And people were like, so there was more. It's kind of a more believable concept when you actually see me live in action. And when I was, up to speed on a lot of that back in the day. A lot of it I'm not up to speed anymore. It's been several years, and some of that you gotta memorize, and it's hard to do it quickly. Like command line stuff, like Mr. Robot. I can't do that that fast anymore. It's very time consuming to do that, but it was, since I was live streaming every day, I could do it because somebody attacked me one day. I spend the evening figuring it out, and because I'm programming all day, and then I take a break, do that, and then show them what I found the next day. And it was kind of a lesson to people when they say, well, I don't have any information on the internet, and then when I show them how much information of their lives I can find, and I don't even know who they are. I don't even know who they are. And one time I said, okay, let's do a hackathon, and all you have to do is email me. And people would email me, and then I would basically, the video it's a very old video on YouTube. They would email me, and I'll find out information from them, just from their email. Then one guy sent junk pics. He actually took pictures of his junk and sent on the email, and live I clicked on it, and sure enough, he displayed his junk on the screen, not visible in public because I caught it, but I caught the I said, oh, you're gonna send junk pics, and then this was live. I said, oh, so you live on, and then I told him where he lived, and he was so ducking scared. He was so scared, that guy. He didn't know that I could actually find where he lived. No comment, Linsco Piring. But anyway, it was more informal versus what I got to do here on YouTube. So yeah, so probably watching without a VPN. Yeah, he didn't have a VPN. You can't delete MS certs on Windows. You can delete them on Linux. So anyway, that's just to kind of relate a story of what I might do if we have a different kind of Q&A experience uh, in a different platform. Maybe it'll be more informal because there'll be fewer people, and then I don't have to worry about uh, numbers. I'd rather be doing a service to people who are really interested. Longtime friends like Cosmic Rose and Great Gold and Mysticulous, they've been around forever here. That's why they're mods. But they've been around forever. They've known me for, so many years, 8 years maybe more. Doing all this live streaming and all this, and it's a different experience when it's more relaxed. So I'd rather have a fewer people that can benefit. Also, obviously, there's a benefit because if you're in a subscription platform, then people can show their appreciation to because it's direct. You can ask a question, I can answer. Do you have affiliates in South Florida? No, you have to send it to me here. Almost a decade? Has it been that long? Lost track. Even after you shut it down, you'll have to report any change in your residence. And what if you don't? Californication, were you following before? Joe Silva keeps asking the same question over and over because he doesn't get an immediate response. So some of you can answer him, but there's no need. There's no need to keep repeating the question. Although it doesn't hurt. I mean, if I see it and I haven't answered, I could respond. Yeah. So Rumble will be untouched at least for the main live stream because it's the only place to get subscribers on Rumble is through the live stream. So I have to put the live stream on Rumble. It's not an option. Something else that's very interesting, guys, is Odysee is still around. Now, who would have thought? I thought Odysee would be dead by now. As you know, Odysee, I don't even know who the new owner of Odysee is going to be. It's not going to be Library anymore. So who's the new owner of Odysee going to be? Because they put it on auction. I don't know who offered to buy Odysee and what happened. Maybe I should have offered to buy it for $50. So, yeah. So I don't know who's running. I have an account on Twitch. Nobody watches. Yeah, I have a Twitch account. I used to broadcast on Twitch, and that's pretty bad. No traffic there. So, yeah. So Odysee, actually, the Great Gold, the auction is over, and yeah. So, but there was an auction, and I wasn't aware. I found out about the auction the day of the auction, so I didn't have time to go say, oh, maybe I'll go buy it for some reasonable amount, like $1,000. Have you done? I don't do torrenting, period. So don't ask me that kind of question. That's why would you feel safe about torrenting on a mobile cell network? They can find you. Panquake. Okay, I don't know what Panquake is. See, so I also learned when I do these live streams, you guys give me ideas and I get to research it and things I don't know. Like I didn't know what Proxmox is. So yes, so Rumble's gonna remain with the main live stream, and then we won't hurt the algorithm on YouTube because they don't like the live stream here on YouTube. YouTube used to like live streams, then they stopped liking it. I think when the shorts came, nobody watched the live streams anymore because live streams means long, and they're trying to attract people who want to watch shorts. Well, I'm not going to do shorts videos. It's not my thing. It's the same problem on X. If you're on X, the way that the X platform works, you make a couple of sharp comments, and you do it frequently, like several times a day. And that's your thing on X. Make short comments and make some statements, and then rabble rouse. Make hype up people and post a meme with it and so on. Well, that's not what I do. And to change style and do something else is very time consuming. So I'm not going to be the shorts kind of guy, and that's why the X experience doesn't really work that well for me, because that's not what I do. So, but I'm posting my videos on X. Very few people watch it. I'm lucky to get 2,000 views on, and I don't actually know if they watch the entire video or just watch the first 10 seconds, because you don't have any stats on that. So I'm going to presume if it says 2,000 people watched the video, the reality is maybe 50 people did. That's my guess. Okay, I doubt if anybody actually watches the full video on X. And so it's not really working for me there. So maybe I do a different format. X is banning people, FYI. So I don't know what Musk is saying. Oh, we're different now. We want to give you a chance and whatever. They're banning people, and the people I know who got banned from X don't even know why they were banned on X. They'd have no idea why. So I haven't been banned. No, well, I did get banned on Twitter before, but it was a mistake. So it was a mistake, and they corrected it a week later. So if you share a video on YouTube, if you do a share, Cosmic Roads, if you share a video from YouTube on X, X will not promote. They won't even show it on the timeline. This is something that Musk did. He didn't want to move people from X to another platform, so he discourages putting a link. If you put a link, you don't get any views. I'm likely to get 50 views. Now that I'm putting the actual full video on X, I'm getting 2,000-3,000 views. Okay, so it's working a little bit, but not much. Yeah, Neil, the Brax 2s had Simple Mobile pre-installed. The Pixels have Calyx OS, so they have different apps installed. I don't make the OS for the Pixels. I'm using Calyx OS in that. I like Calyx OS. It's actually nicer than Lineage OS in terms of just usability. It's more usable. It's fine. They're both safe for what we're trying to do for Googling. So if you're running Lineage OS, nothing's changed. It's still good operating system and safe. But there's some conveniences on Calyx that are not on Lineage. So for that reason, we get less tech support with Calyx OS. So for that reason, I prefer to load Calyx OS. Otherwise, it comes back as tech support. No, they share Cosmic, or they do share the YouTube videos links. They do share the links. It's not, they don't stop you from putting a link, but they don't promote it. So they have some algorithm, kind of like YouTube. YouTube doesn't like live streams, and X doesn't like external links. So they limit it. So yes, maybe they shadow ban it. Maybe the official word is shadow ban. Simple's fork now. Okay. Yeah. Wonder why they did that. Because somebody didn't like the original Simple guy. The Simple guy is in Eastern Europe. He was selling Brax 2 phones actually. Where was he? He was in Eastern Europe somewhere. Czechoslovakia maybe? No, there's no Czechoslovakia. What I'm talking about. I mean, one of those. Uh, yeah, I don't know, if he's in if he's in like, is that where he is? Yeah, it could be. It could be I don't know, Serbia or Romania. I can't I don't remember right now. I can't remember. So, yeah. Can I install Calyx OS on Samsung? No. Calyx OS is made for Pixels. So somebody asked, can you install Brax OS on Pixels instead of Calyx OS? No, because you have to customize the OS. Somebody has to spend the time to customize an OS to a device. So Brax OS was customized for the Brax 2 phone. It doesn't run on a Pixel. Calyx OS is customized for Pixel, although I believe they're starting to customize it for certain models of Motorola for the first time. Lineage OS works on many models because there are many volunteers. So Lineage OS is the most supported platform. There are more people using Lineage OS than anything because there's so many people on it. So they support many devices. So unless you're running a Pixel, you may not have an option other than to use Lineage OS. Okay, so yeah, so I just want to make that clear. So it's not a choice. You deal with whatever OS is available to you on that device. So Brax OS, nobody has ported Brax OS on anything but a Brax 2 phone, and hopefully the future Brax 3 phone. Which don't expect a Brax 3 phone anytime soon. It'll be it's months away, months. So there's so many issues we got to solve. I just want to tell you something here. Okay, the current Brax 2, the Brax 3 model that I have, that I was testing, is the same exact model being marketed by E Foundation, the Morena company, E Foundation, okay, by Gail Duval, I think. I don't know how to pronounce. Its name is French. So E Foundation is using that phone, that Brax 3 phone, and he did a what do you call that? The funding platform to fund it, and he had a big amount of funding on getting out the Brax that phone, which is actually the same as the Brax 3. No, not GoFundMe, the Kickstarter. Yeah, Cosmic Rose is an expert. Go Kickstarter. So they did a Kickstarter, and they were the exact same model that I have. And you notice if Morena or E Foundation is selling that same phone, why is it that I'm not? Well, the reason is I tested it, and it's just not acceptable performance for me to sell. It would be inappropriate for me to sell something that most people would probably return. I was using it myself, and there were places where I didn't not have a signal. So obviously there's some problems that needed some redesign of the hardware using different choices, different bands, and so on, and that requires a different model. Maybe the same form factor, but it needs a different kind of motherboard. So that's not such a simple thing to do, because you got to change the whole motherboard. So we need a different motherboard for it. So Morena is E Foundation is selling that phone. I can tell you right now that if you're in the US, you shouldn't buy that. It's not going to work. Which I feel bad that, he's promoting that. He's not in the US, so he can't test it. I tested it. EOS will be safe. EOS will be fine if you're in the EU. Yeah. So anyway, I tested it, and I would use EOS in Europe for sure. Marina Gildoval's company. I know him. It'll run great in the EU. That phone will run great in the EU. There's no problem with that phone in the EU. The problem is the US. Since most of my business, 90% of my phone sales are in North America, it doesn't make any sense for me to advertise and tell you that I have a product that doesn't actually work. I can't do that. Marina has installs their EOS on Samsung phones, European version Samsung phones. Okay, so yes, they do have that model. So like Calyx focuses on Pixel, that weird one, with weird people that starts with GOS that some of you have. That's focused on Pixels. Brax OS is focused on Brax 2 as of today. Lineage OS is the one that has flexibility. It can work with everything. There's another one called Fairphone. What is that using? Again, that's a European phone. Be careful. I have no idea what you're talking about, Linscope pairing. Don't have any idea. Okay, so Fairphone is more of a European phone. I wouldn't use that in the U.S. Because it may not work. Okay, so just being honest with you, I can't sell something that I don't know if it'll work. But I have to tell you this: the Pixels, the new ones, I'm selling Pixel 5s, Pixel 6, Pixel 6As. Oh, they're running extremely well. I can, Ethan Scully. We can de-Google everything from Google 8. I mean Pixel 8, Pixel, Fold, Pixel 7 Pro. We can do all that. I just don't stock them. I don't stock them. They're very expensive, and you can bring your own phone. BYOD will do it for you, but bring your own phone. We're not going to pre-stock them because, it'll be $1,000 phone, more. So I can't do that. So yeah. So for other models, we can do all of them, all the way to Google 8, Pixel 8. We can do all that. Just bring your own phone. So thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. So, okay. So, the ones I'm selling, which is, the highest end is Pixel 6, is really, to be honest, why would you need to spend more than that? Google 6, we're selling for $620. A Google 6A, we're selling for $420. That's a pretty good bargain. Why do you need to spend more? So, that's a current year model. Pixel 6 is this year, 2023. So a Pixel 8 is 2024 model. So, yeah. So it's just not, return on investment. It's, I don't see the benefit of going. This is just, half a year better, but the pricing next year, the price of Google 8 will come down. That's the right time to buy, but not right now. Too expensive, right? You're pretty much, you're pretty much paying brand new price. It's not worth it. Buy it a year older, where you have a year old price, and then maybe we'll be able to sell Pixel 8 for $600 by a year from now, and then yeah, the Pixel 6 will be the cheap phone. We'll be selling Pixel 6s for 400 by then. So yeah. The turnaround, we usually keep it here for 3 days, typically, on average. Brax Pixel phone will work anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. They're worldwide compatible. Ethan Scully, if you sign up for a Pixel 7 with a carrier, it will not be doable. Guaranteed. It will be carrier locked. Okay? Ethan Scully, you have to make sure that it's not carrier locked and OEM unlockable before you send it. Because I guarantee you, if you got it from the carrier for free, that means they stuck you to a plan. You are zucked. Never buy from a carrier. Never, ever buy from the carrier. Buy from Google directly. Never from the carrier. Never. You buy from the carrier, zucked. What can stop? Nothing stops you from deleting anything, but it's against the EU certificate. Deleting that, I don't think they've actually implemented yet. That's a plan. But it's supposed to be against the law to delete the EU root certificate. So the browser will probably restore it for you. So you won't be able to delete the EU root certificate. Okay. Does the device also? We do not root devices. So there is no rooting involved. Okay. When we Google a phone, we don't root. Okay. Carrier locked is cheaper. Okay. So yeah. So if you got a free phone then it's not a good deal. There's no good deal because they put you in a contract. Yeah, free phone, but stay with us for 3 years. Oh yeah, locked. Okay, so we got 3 minutes here. I know we've been just informally chatting for the last hour. It's not like a formal thing like I had before. So we're not, and I kind of like that, and YouTube doesn't like it, but we're more conversational, and we answer whatever's on your mind, and we have fun with it. That's really what I want the Q&A section to be, and I can't do that on YouTube. Algorithm doesn't like it. Many of you YouTube subscribers don't like it. We can do G7 Plus, but I don't know if you got to test the G7 Plus to make sure it works with your carrier before you give it to me. Yes, we can install Lineage OS on Motorola G7 Plus. We can do that, but I'm not going to guarantee you that it will work with your carrier. So test it against your carrier first. If it works, put a SIM card in there. If it works, then we can Google it for you. We can definitely de-Google a Motorola G7 Plus. Definitely. But whether the phone actually works is something you got to figure out in advance. Thank you, Chad. Okay, so a couple more minutes here. Couple more minutes. Our live streams on a scheduled night. Yes, George, the live streams are always on Thursdays at 8 p.m. But as I announced in this video, we will likely limit it to Rumble and locals.com, robraxman.locals.com in 2024. So we're going to be doing this for a couple more weeks, and then we'll move it. So Peter is confused about what? Okay, it's kind of this comment that doesn't have anything attached to it. So Peter is confused, but since I don't know about what, then I guess I can't answer that. Okay, what about you go apkpure.com, the website. Spammy website. Google can do the same, yes. They haven't yet, but they can. Okay? So thank you very much, guys. We're out of time. And I will be back next week. So on Rumble and YouTube. So I'll see you there. Good night, guys.